What is going on, good people of YouTube? It is me, Chavez, back with another Prize Picks video for you. Today is still Wednesday, March 29th, 2023, and we still have 10 games, not 27, 10 games going on in the NBA today. As always, I hope this video finds you all doing well and in good spirits. In traditional final look video format, we'll kick things off with just a really quick look at the updated injury report, and then we're going to jump right on into constructing a 6-pick flex. In full transparency, I have already constructed this 6-pick flex. I've already placed the entry, so I didn't want to take the chance of anything being bumped up. We've already seen quite a bit of movement on the board today. So if that sounds good to you, stick around, drop a like, sub, and click the notification icon to be notified of all upcoming videos and content for me and this channel. And without further delay, let us jump into this injury report for today. All right, there you have it. We still have that nice typo. Carl Anthony Edwards is still probable. I'm assuming he's playing today. And then Buddy Hield has been added to the out for today list along with Lauri Markkanen. He's also been ruled out for today. And one name that remains on the questionable list is Chris Middleton. Now, Chris Middleton sits. I fully expect Giannis and Brook and Grayson Allen, Drew Holiday, all these dudes' props to be bumped up. So we're going to talk about one of these props as part of our 6-pick flex here in a second. But yeah, that was the name that stood out to me. So if he sits, it's possible we see these guys removed from the board. So if you have any interest in those Bucks props, get them in your entries before they're taken away from you. All right, I didn't see any questions. I didn't see any comments in the comment section from the early video today. So we're just gonna jump right on into this, this 6-pick flex. And let's start off by adding in the 2 plays that we talked about earlier today. And it's gonna be Karl Anthony Towns over his 2.5 turnovers prop. And then Zach Collins over his 24.5 points and rebounds. So there was actually one comment left by Christopher Mendoza. He made a comment about the Zach Collins first half fantasy. Yeah, once that gets put on the board, if that gets put on the board, I don't believe it's on the board as of now. Man, that is a really nice prop because he's just been a fantasy monster, especially in the first half. PRA fantasy monster in the first half. The best right now we have is his first half PRA. So be on the lookout for that first half fantasy score for Zach Collins. All right, so how do we want to complete this 6-pick flex? I already know how I want to do it, but I mean, when I was constructing this initially, I wanted to go a few different ways. And so I think what we'll do is we'll start off with a first half point prop. It's going to be from the Milwaukee Bucks and Indiana Pacers game. And I really like this 7.5 first half PRA line for Grayson Allen. All right, pulling up Allen's 10 game log over on props.cash. First half PRA, gone over this line 4 out of his last 10 games, but 3 out of his last 5. Now, let's look at this a couple different ways. Number one, with everyone in the lineup, no scratches, nobody ruled out. And then we'll take a look at what this looks like with Chris Middleton out of the lineup. Nonetheless, Bucks are taking on a defense in Indiana that allows 27th most points in the NBA, 26th most rebounds, 28th most assists, and has a pretty poor defense versus the shooting guard. Let's take a look at Middleton out of this lineup and what that looks like for Allen. So 3 out of his last 5 games still, that remains, but it just creates more opportunities for Allen on the floor. Taking a look at his minutes over his last 5, with Middleton out, 15 and 14 over his last 10. With Middleton in the lineup, we can see that it goes down a couple of minutes. And that's a big deal in the NBA. 2 minutes can equal a lot of production, a lot of fantasy production. So 2 minutes is a big deal when you're looking at PRA, especially in the first half. So going up by 2 minutes when Middleton is out of the lineup is a nice little bump in production for Grayson Allen. Specifically versus Indiana, this season, Grayson Allen has averaged 9.5 PRA in 2 games, gone over in both, gave you 10 back in January, on January 16th, and then gave you 9 over on January 27th. Now, this line is set to 8. But we saw it at 7.5 over on Prizepicks. So this looks really good to me. And like I mentioned earlier, if Middleton happens to sit, this one is going to get bumped up for sure. So Grayson Allen over first half PRA 7.5. All right, let's go to a full game prop and talk about DeMar DeRozan 5 assists versus the Los Angeles Lakers tonight. I like the over on this one. All right, over on props.cash, we see this line is set to 5.5. Hope it does not get bumped to 5.5. We'll keep it at 5. Gone over this in 4 out of 10 games. In one game, he hooked it, or he didn't hook it. He met it, didn't surpass it. But let's look at what he's done since he's been back from his little absence. 2 games back-to-back, 7+ assists, including 1 game versus this same Lakers team in LA. He dished out 10 assists. So positive history here, recent positive history for DeMar DeRozan. And honestly, this is just one of these plays where we're attacking some momentum. And DeMar DeRozan has kind of become this assist monster on the season. He's averaging 5 assists. Over his last 10, he's averaging 5. Over his last 5, he's giving you 6. And then again, versus this LA team, he's giving you 10. Going back to last season, if we just look at the games versus Los Angeles, 3 games in total, or 2 games in total last season, 6, 6, and 10. So all these props are well over 5 assists. That's going to be our 4th prop on the board for our 6th pick flex. DeMar DeRozan over 5 assists. For our 5th pick, let's talk about Nick Claxton. 11.5 points versus the Houston Rockets. Like the over on this one. Pulling up Nick Claxton's 10-game log over on props.cash, we can see that he has gone over this line in 7 out of his last 10 games. That is a 70% hit rate. Prizepicks continues to roll his point prop out there in that 10 to 11 range, that 11.5 range, and he continues to hit it. I mean, so we're just going to keep riding this prop when we get it. It's a nice matchup for him versus an extremely friendly, a very giving Houston defense that allows, I mean, they're bottom of the league in points allowed, 3-pointers allowed, 3-point percentage allowed, 21st in the league in power forward defense. Yeah, this is just a really good matchup for Nick Claxton. Back on March 7th, earlier this month, clear this, 18 points in this game versus Houston. We can look at what that looked like by half. Gave you 5 in the first half and then came on strong with 13 in the second half. So Nick Claxton getting it done over his last 10, over his last 5 versus the Houston Rockets today. He's going to be our 5th pick over 11.5 points. And for our final pick, our 6th pick, we're going to roll with Jimmy Butler. 23.5 points versus the New York Knicks. I like the more on this one. Over on props.cash, weird. We got Jimmy Butler at 25.5. Scared the shit out of me for a second when I saw that. He's at 23.5 over on Prizepicks. Hit this prop 8 out of his last 10 games, 80% hit rate. We've seen this number come down over the last week or so, and good. I think it was upwards of 26 at one point. Yeah, I like it much better at 23.5, 24.5 for sure. Anything under 24.5 for Jimmy Butler, I like it. He's just turned this on, man. He's turned it on in the month of March. He's had some strong games. He's created a lot of momentum going into the final few weeks of the season. And this is a really big game. This is a really big game for the Knicks and for both the Knicks and the Heat. They're separated in the standing by, I believe, 3 games, but the Heat are only a game or half a game behind the Brooklyn Nets. I mean, so I'm sure they're rooting for the Rockets to win tonight, but they have to take care of their business. All they can do is win their own game. So that starts with Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler is the heart and soul of this team. Sat out the last game versus Toronto, so I fully expect him to suit up and show out today versus this Knicks team. Look, this is not the best matchup, but we've seen that Jimmy Butler is, in a lot of ways, he's matchup proof. He's just going to get his. He's going to create his shot. He's going to take games over, or at least try to take games over. Looking at his shot volume over the last 10 games, we can see that he's given you 13 over his last 5, 15 over his last 10. Specifically versus New York, we can see this season, man, one really dud of a game back on February where he played 33 minutes. He put up 13 shots. I mean, everything looks, normal, but his efficiency was a little low, not making a lot of those shots. Other 2 games, 33 and 35. According to my simple math, that's a much bigger number than 23.5, so he would have hit his prop in those games. I just really like this game environment for Jimmy Butler. I like this matchup and positive history versus this Knicks team this season, not overall in his career. So this is all recent. Definitely liking this one. Jimmy Butler is going to round out our 6-pick flex, and this one just got removed from the board. So we just witnessed Prizepicks take this off the board. So either Jimmy Butler is out of the game, he's not going to play in today's game, which would be a big bummer, or we got some injury news coming from the Heat. Pulling up the injury report now. I don't see him added to it. So I was a little prepared for one of our props being bumped or removed. I thought it was going to be the Grayson Allen prop. So I have a replacement for Jimmy Butler today. We're going to go to the free throws prop category, and we're going to look at LeBron James over 5 free throws for today. Heading on over to props.cash, we're going to scroll down to free throw attempts by LeBron James. All right, so first game back in a lineup versus the Chicago Bulls. Made it to the line 8 times, hit 7 out of 8. Game prior to that, before him sitting out due to injury, made it to the line 7 times, hit 5. Really low free throw game for LeBron James versus Golden State. But man, 3 games in a row of 9+ free throw attempts, 6+ free throw makes. Positive history here versus the Bulls. I don't see why he would not continue what he did in that last Chicago game. Made it to the free throw line 8 times, made 7. So this is our replacement for the Jimmy Butler prop being taken off the board, and that is actually going to be our 6-pick flex. I'm glad I locked in that 6-pick flex earlier with Jimmy Butler in it. Unless he has been ruled out, we may have gotten him at a very nice discount. And if he is ruled out, then my 6-pick flex becomes a 5-pick flex. So, and let me just show you what that looks like. So I was already prepared with the LeBron James free throws there. Also like that DeRozan 3-pointer made, but I can't add him to this 6-pick flex because we already have him in there for assist. But there's Jimmy Butler right there. Hopefully he's active today. And I locked in that Karl Anthony Towns and Zach Collins. And ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for today's final look video. Thank you all so much for stopping by the channel and just checking this video out. Leave a comment below letting me know who your favorite props on the board are today. Also, let me know what you think about these props, this 6-pick flex, Jimmy Butler being taken off the board. Leave all your comments in the comments section of this video. I love reading them all. And thank you so much for all the continued support, the likes, the subs, and those comments. It means a ton in helping this channel grow a bit bigger every single day. Best of luck to you all tonight. If you are tailing any of these props, it is our bounce back day, making up for that terrible night last night. Best of luck, and until tomorrow's early look and research video, Chavez is